riding for me it is what, January 22nd. I like to get on, I like to reach for my horse. Watch my videos, you've probably heard that. Needs to kind of brace there. I don't want to just, I don't always go backwards, for sure. But I more often than not go backwards and have him kind of reach back for me, back here. But if I was, kind of had a horse that was rocking back and getting too pattern, I get on and wait. He just was kind of out there ahead somewhere mentally. So I came back, but you could also go to reaching for him and bending him. But again, eventually what happens last a lot of times happens first. So if I always back, they might start backing. So then I just change it up. I might go to bending them. I could go to bending them and waiting on those feet. We haven't done that with him yet. Just kind of a time thing when I'm try to find opportunities when I need to kind of sit around when they need a break there. He's over flexing, so I don't need him to flex that far. Just 90 degrees. And I could, I don't think he's going to go, but I could help by opening out here a little bit. But I wouldn't want to sit out here too long, get tired. So I might get him a little closer to the edge. In time, I wouldn't even give him kind of a hint. But there, as the energy starts to come, I might try to drive it up. And then my leg got a little impatient. I don't want him leaning on me or chewing on my leg there, because I know he likes to kind of nibble. And he says, how about I flex my head more? I'm just going to discourage him from kind of bending that far and over flexing. I don't want him reaching down. I'd like his pole up there. And we can wait. There's energy coming again, and now I'm kind of stuck out here. That's the front feet, though. That's the front feet. It's a nice try, just in the wrong direction. So again, don't chew on my leg there. That's the front feet. I'd like him to find the hind feet. And it shows that I need to do more of this. But again, a lot of times when they're in training, because people would typically rather me spend time riding them and getting them exposed to things. These are things that they can kind of come back and do. And they'll be closer the more I do it. But he gets sticky anyways in the hind, so it's not a bad thing. A lot of times on a trail while everybody else is sitting around taking a break, sometimes I'll work on this stuff a little bit. But there's a little try finally with the hind. The fact that it takes so long shows me that I need to do it more, and I'd like to get that within 3 seconds. But I don't have to do every side every day. But if I was waiting here and had to go on, I could always get impatient and use my leg there. You guys have seen me get impatient there before. But sometimes when they're green like this and I got enough, other things to expose them to. Again, if you were looking for something to do, for some people maybe they feel a little apprehensive, they could work on bending them. I just like to ride a little more. And to be honest, even though I know it needs to get done, it's a little boring. But it's so worthwhile when you spend the time.
Cool.
That's the front feet. Yeah.
Why you're not putting pressure with your inside leg if you want the hind feet?
Because I'm trying to connect the rein to his foot.
Yeah, but at the same time, you always say, do not pull the
No, I
hind.
never say always.
Oh, so usually,
I never say never though either. and I
usually,
just said never.
usually you say, do not pull the hind.
Yeah, I'm not pulling the hind. I'm holding and waiting.
You're holding and waiting. So how does he differentiate between flexing?
From
Yeah.
my release. If I wanted the front, I'd be out here more. That's he's starting to figure out. I don't have to wait too long for the front.
Okay. But
I'm in here close to the shoulder.
okay.
Again, I could be out here, where he's so far away from thinking there. So that's the open door. As he gets a little closer, I'll be out there, but it gets my shoulder sore. I might have to be here for 3 days before I get a change. I don't know. That's what there's a change. So I release. So pretty soon by the release, he's going to start to search for that more.
And by this, you mean if you do not release, that means you're asking him the hind?
I release for what I want, so there.
Okay.
So that still wasn't 3 seconds, but it's getting closer. And then he kind of moved the front after, but again, I want him to connect the part that I do. Now I'm kind of pulling him up because I don't like to get chewed on there. That's the front, there's fine. If he walks off, I'll just stop him. Talk him back. But if I need to work on flexion, see, I draw my rein and I hold and wait. Not down there. And I said I don't pull on them, but I might set it up to where they pull on me. That's front feet. There. Release. Now as he starts thinking, let him clear his cobwebs out. Dust out of his throat there. Leftover breakfast. 1001, 1002, 1003. Up down there. That's longer than 3 seconds. I don't need to count to 1,000. You guys release. But I haven't changed sides.
Yeah.
Because he's not under 3 seconds. I want him to keep searching here.
So when do you change sides?
When it's under 3 seconds, I can do something different. I want him to keep thinking bend first, then move his feet. Release.
And do you do this in one session?
Good riding should be hands only, no leg, leg only, no hands. Or both together. This is hands only, no leg. Thousand 1, 1002, 1003. Close. Pretty close. Good. So, again, don't root my hands out there. Particular, not picky. I could be done there. Just kind of depends on my time. 1001. 1002, that's the front feet, release, but that's within 3 seconds. If I kept doing it, I wouldn't even be able to bend his head. I still want to make sure step 1's good there before I get the feet. And then since I got the feet pretty quick that time, I'm going to bend him and release. See, and he's like, oh, maybe I'll move my feet. So now I've already released there and release. Don't chew on me or my blanket. And then I could do the other side. I'm not going to do the other side, though. Or you could make interns, just sit there and bend them and wait. It'd be fine, too. Good job, friend. Late. I'm always, so he's had a little problem leg yielding. I'm always just working on those rusty hinges. I get a little change doing that, and I might leg yield the other way. That's shoulder leading right now. If I had the shoulder leading too much there, I might stop that shoulder and finish with the little hindquarters and go on. I don't always want to stop, and I don't always want to do hindquarters, front quarters, because pretty soon they'll start to shorten behind, and I want to keep some life in there. If he gets a little crabby, I'm going to work my legs there a little more. I don't want him being crabby at my legs. I don't want him rooting my hand out there. There we go. Good. Good. He's got a little energy. So we might. Wrong lead there. Lead him off my right leg to the left there. Good. And keep open there. Good. Down to his trot. Off on the new lead. Wrong lead. Got to get off my left leg there. There you go. Good. Then we ride out to the other horses. Go on a trip somewhere. Don't get too picky or start training. Arc to the left. Wasn't great, but I got to change. Arc to the right, so I might do arc to the left, stay forward. Do another arc to the left. Oh, that got soft. Now his mind's on the other horses. Won't dwell there very much though. And I'm going to ride out away, but I'm going to leave it open for him. If he wants to draw out there, I can use that. If he wants to come that way, so I don't need much help there to help him. But as I come through here, he wants to go right back there. So that gives me another opportunity for a left turn to see if I could draw him. And I'm letting him, if he wants to go out there straight, I'll let him. But if not, I can use that to help him there a little bit and get him a little lighter on his turns. And it's kind of a mile way of working a little bit of a barn sour issue. I don't need to hold him there. It's like, hey, let's go back there. Cool, but you don't get to stop there. If you want to come out this way, you can. If not, I'm just going to work on my figure eights. There, he wants to, there, he got out a little further. I'll settle. I don't want him to stop. So I did a little something, and that was too much. It's hard to do much less than that one, so he's like, you'll just go out this way now. Now we'll go back to right, and he's not kind of thinking left. Maybe we wind up back there. Fix and release. I don't try to hold him there. There's the left turn. Good. And I might think of a right turn. Right leg's back, left leg's forward. See, I offer with my legs. Then a fix and release. Good. Between the barrels. I don't run into a tree. Left leg's back, right leg's forward. I'll exaggerate it a little bit for you. Fix, release. He started. There, now he's coming through there. Good. Give him an opportunity to walk. He fell down in the trot a little bit, but couldn't quite find the walk. I'm going just a little slower than he's going. Good. There we go. I said I wanted to work on it, so before I forget again and get a change where I'm just like, okay, it's a nice place to quit. hand on the horn there in case he jumped away. I'd go with him. I don't just reach down there, hung out to dry if he got scared. And my main thing gives me a chance to kind of ride with one hand, even though I have been a little bit here and there. I don't want him afraid of it, so I get to changing eyes. And I want to make sure more than anything that he's not afraid of it. Because again, people want you to get in their horse gentle. So he was a little troubled on the ground, and that's why we do groundwork. But from up his back, he's not too bothered. And that's why we do the preparation. Now, when I go to change, ride one hand, I'm just going to get short on my left rein. I got my flag in my right hand. And now there is kind of a pull because I only have one hand, but I want to keep that hind in drive there and drive that hind. I'm in close to the neck. There's my stop. My hand passes over and we'll drive that front. I want just a little more reach if I can. There you go, so he could cross over. Good. If I was going to change sides, that was not too bad of a change. Again, I'd have to get short on my right rein, have it in my left hand. Keep him in drive there. Keep him in drive. I could kick, but I got a flag, so drive that so you can see. I drive that. I want him yielding out away from that, going a little sideways off where my right finger's pointing. Good. When I'm happy with that, I'll sit down and stop. We'll open up. I direct it first, which is nice he went, but I want just a little bit of flag. Get him a little further back. He's not too worried about it. There, and he might get afraid. And then we might have to go back to getting him okay about it. Get a little more careless with it as we go on. Want him to stop there, you can walk and do that. Just in case the Indians chase us, we want to make sure we can do that and keep moving. Get short on my left rein. Drive the hind. When he starts to hit the end, he runs into that. Good. When I sit down and stop, I'd like for him to stop. We'll open up, bring the front. We'll drive him. And I want a little bit of energy in his feet. Good. So I wasn't real accurate with his feet, but I got to pick and choose my poison there. If I'm going to ask for energy, I don't get picky on football right now. If I'm going to work on balance, then I work on football. Tom used to say it's feel, timing, and balance. Well, if you don't have a feel, if I ask that foot to move and I only ask for 3 pounds and that foot weighs 5 pounds to direct it, then I'm never going to move it. I'm going to teach him to refuse my rein and get heavier over time. That's for the life good. Doesn't have to go crazy, just a little pickup. When he brings up his energy, I'll take the flag away. If he doesn't yield off the energy, I might tap him with a little. Good. There. Now it's better with his football. He still didn't reach back quite far enough, but the energy was smoother. I want him steady with his head there. Good. When he gets steady, I'm releasing. I want him to get steady with his head. He's going to try to root my hand out. He says, that's worked before. So you can just wait there. There. When he gets a little more steady, doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want him just bobbing his head in and out there. When I call him up on the telephone, I have a little communication there. I'm not just hanging up on him. There. And it might not be as soft as it could be, but I want to be able to move that foot. If he's just soft and it's not attached to that foot, that's empty flexion. So So when they're just floating there a little bit, I want to still make sure I can move that foot with the float. Otherwise, they're behind the flexion. And I want them behind my hand, but in front of my legs. So if I can't move that foot and I don't have the energy to move the foot, I don't want to have to drive them out to my hand to move the foot. I just want to balance that foot on my hand and have them get steady. And I build that over time there. Now if it's instantaneous, I try to hold it further. That happened a little quicker. Left side again. I'm going to get a little shorter. He's got such a little neck. Ride my arc. Actually, this time we're just going to start bringing in the flag and driving him a little. No hind.